Yep. How you doing, everybody? Welcome to the Your Pet Detective Show. I'm your host, Angel Nieves, licensed private investigator, mainly working on cases on animals. Um, also wrote a book. Do you know where your pets are? It's on Amazon. Right here it is. It's on Amazon. And you can also get it on my yourpetdetective.com. Um, Today we're going to talk about something specific, which is bears. Do the bears hibernate? Do we scream at the bears for they can run away? What do we do? What is the truth? What is a myth? And before I do, I want you to see this. It's in China with their panda bears. They have it in a zoo. Okay? It's in the zoo. Hold on. Minga. Look at this. That's not a panda. That's a dog. Actually, it's an Akita. An Akita. You can't make this up because let me tell you one thing. Pandas are from China. I think they have enough pandas out there to show a panda and not an Akita. Well, anyway, that's another story. But right here, we're going to talk about the bears. Let me show you. We're going to speak to an expert. His name is David Loverde. I said it in Spanish. I'm sorry, buddy. But what? What do you think?
Okay, well, honestly, what the first guy did was right. Clap, make noise, don't run away. Because if you run away, they're gonna chase after you, and they're gonna outrun you. They're very fast on all fours, so they'll catch you. But make noise, clap your hands, make yourself look bigger, put your arms over your head. That is probably the best way to deal with it. But the real best way to deal with it is don't leave garbage in your garage or food, because that's the biggest problem. The bear was in there looking for something to eat.
It looked like the guy was trying to make the bear dance a little bit by clapping there.
No. You're trying to make noise to get him to move away. That's what he was trying to do, which is the right thing to do. Especially if you're hiking in the woods, make as much noise as possible. You don't want to sneak up on a bear, especially a mother with cubs.
What do you think about the last one?
Well, the last one was pretty stupid.
It's inside the den.
Yeah, I know. That's pretty stupid. I mean, that's good for trouble. I mean, come on now. Really?
But the last one is not the last one, the first one. What do you think about the pandas?
Oh, the panda? Well, they're doing a lot of that crazy stuff now. I don't know if you've seen anything on TikTok, but they've got tigers. They're dying dogs look like tigers with the stripes and everything.
But this is in China, though.
Yeah.
China have pandas. That's where they come from.
I know.
And they put Akitas.
Yeah. Somebody died it. Somebody died the dog, yes.
Well, I think somebody found out when it started barking.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. But let's go back to you, Dave. You have a rehab center.
I do.
You take care of a lot of animals.
Yes.
And you have something here before. I mean, we're going to talk more, but there's something here about one of your rehabs, because we're going to talk mainly about bears.
Okay.
It's one of your rehabs here. What's going on here with the bears?
That is our bear enclosure. That's up in the back of the property, and we had 2 cubs in there at the time. We've had 5 since then. We've released 3. We have one more that's ready to go, and the two little guys are going to stay for the winter. But this is what they do. They play.
And now, how these guys got rescued? Were they hurt or they were
all
the orphans?
Yeah, the one on the barrel was dug out of his den with an excavator. They were clearing a piece of land, and they got it on top of the wheel, and they hit the den with the excavator, and the bear cub came running out. And that's how we got that guy. The other ones were all orphaned. They were just sitting around, and people found them. They picked them up in their yards. We trapped a couple of them, and it's usually the way it goes. They lose their mother early sometimes, or the mother gets killed by a car, and the cubs usually hang around where mom is for a couple hours, and somebody picks them up.
Now you're up in New York, right?
Yes.
Upstate.
Yeah.
Are there a lot of black bears up there?
Yeah, we have a lot of black bear here.
More than before?
My particular area, yeah. I'm up in the northern Catskills, so we have a lot of bear here. Even in the southern Catskills, down in Region 3, there's a Ellenville, every place down there's a lot of bears around.
But are they multiplying, or is it just the same, or you
I
see
think
it
they're
more?
multiplying. They're not quite as hunted as much as they used to be, and there's a lot of food out there. There's our biggest problem here is our bed and breakfasts, our Airbnbs. They're creating a real problem here because the people rent it out. They don't have the proper garbage containers, and they come for the weekend and they leave their garbage, or they take their garbage away, or they don't secure their garbage properly, and the bears are just coming around, just going through garbage bales. That's just the way it is.
But these bears, are they afraid of the people if the people comes out of the house, or?
A lot of times people try to get a selfie with the bear. Yeah, you know how it goes. You get a selfie, try to get a selfie with a bear, and sometimes they actually bait them in so they can get a better picture. Yeah, it's pretty weird. There's people that are a little strange. They don't understand what happens when a bear gets so used to people, they get killed. Because eventually the bear is going to attribute a square building as food. They're very smart animals. If they got food here yesterday, they're going to come back today. So if your garbage is not contained or it's in a proper container, like all our restaurants up here have bear-proof dumpsters. The bears cannot get in the dumpsters. If you have a restaurant or any kind of food establishment up here in my area, all businesses have to have bear-proof dumpsters.
Now the people that go up, they say B&B, right? Better.
No, Airbnbs. Yeah, the rentals, the weekend rentals.
So those are people from out of state, out of the country.
Yep.
They don't. They don't care. They just.
They don't care. They don't know. They don't know how bad the situation is here. And all they want, if they come up to see wildlife, and if a bear happens to show up, they take a picture of it and they're happy to see it, and then one thing leads to another, and then they start ripping up the garbage because the garbage isn't. Airbnbs aren't required to provide bear-proof dumpsters or bear-proof garbage cans. So the garbage, not that the garbage stays, it's just that there's people who don't know anything about bears. You put your garbage out every night. Well, every night the bear's going to come back, rip up your garbage, and drag the garbage bag down the street. And
right.
Then that's how a nuisance bear starts. If he can find easy food, he will. He's not stupid. If the food is available, he's gonna take it. It's very simple.
And how about law enforcement?
Law enforcement, there's no law that says that you have to contain your garbage. You should. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I'd be tired of picking up my garbage every day because they just drag the bags into the woods and papers and everything. It's terrible. I keep my garbage in my basement, and then I go to the dump twice a week if I have to. But I don't put anything outside because I'm in bear country. I know better. I don't want bears hanging around my house.
But also, some people probably just throw the food right out to the backyard or something, not even put it in the garbage, right?
Well,
not all of them, but some.
Only if they want something to come by, like a fox, and they want to get a picture. They do sometimes they do bait animals in, and they, especially when everybody's got ring cams, so they always get something. But it's not always that's not really not the choice.
Right.
It's just the people who don't understand. The people who live here know what a problem the bears are, and they make, if they can't afford to buy because the containers are a little expensive, they make their own. They make them out of plywood. They make them out of fencing. They make them out of wire. Anything to keep the bears out, because they're tired of picking up their own garbage 3 times. I mean, let's face it. You don't want your house to look like, and nobody wants the house to look like that.
No.
But the people who don't know.
Well, people who don't know, and also people who are not from the area.
Right. That's what I mean. They don't know what the situation is here.
But I'm saying that when people go on vacation, when they go on vacation, they're a little bit sloppy compared to when they're home.
Well, no, that's not the case. Actually, I mean, they're pretty neat. They leave the place nice because they have a deposit, and everything has got to be cleaned. But they just are not responsible with their garbage. Instead of running to the dump and paying $2 a bag to dump your kitchen bag of garbage, they keep throwing it in the garbage pail. They throw it in the garbage pail. Bear comes at night, knocks it over. The bear rips open the garbage. The raccoons eat, and the fox eat, and everybody else eats, and then they leave, and the garbage is on the floor. Instead of keeping the garbage in the house, or having your landlord provide a spot and enclosed, like kind of like a shed that you can close up, and this way they can't get to the garbage. It's a simple thing. Everybody does it up here. Everybody has garbage contained into a certain spot so that the bears don't get it. But then you got the rentals who don't care.
Yeah.
Their lobbyists and their lawyers are they have a lot more money than our little small town up here. So it's been brought up a few times, I believe, at the meetings, at the town board meetings, but they always show up with attorneys, and they fight it to the bitter end. We're just talking about garbage pails. We're not asking them to move the house. We're just asking them to control their garbage. Simple as that. And that would avoid bears walking. I mean, you're not going to avoid them altogether because bears are here no matter what. But if they don't find food, they're not going to come back.
Well, they get used to humans. It's another danger also, right?
Right. But they're basically food motivated. They don't want to be your friend.
Right.
If you got a sandwich, then they're your friend. But if you don't have no food around, they're just passing through. So that's not really an issue. I don't have a friendly bear that comes through here because I don't have any food.
Yogi, right? Yogi looking for the picnic basket. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's the only thing bears look for. And if they find it one day, and they're going to come back the next. It's just the way they are. They're very intelligent animals. And if they can find an easy free meal, they will.
And there was no attacks on bears up there neither, right?
We don't have. I don't recall attacks up here. I haven't heard of one. I mean, I'm not saying it never happened. It might have happened, but lately I have not heard of one single bear attack up here.
Good. Now, facts and myths.
Okay.
One is, do bears hibernate?
Not in New York State.
Only in New York.
Not in New York.
That's what I say. Only in New York.
Anywhere south. The only reason why a bear hibernates is because there's not enough food, and it gets cold. And it's not really a hibernation. It's called a torpor, where they don't actually go into it like woodchucks. Woodchucks hibernate. They sleep. That's it. You can't wake them up. Nothing. But if you find a bear, because bears will hibernate anywhere or go into torpor anywhere under a pile of dead trees, a pile of dead branches. They don't necessarily have to make a den. The only things that stay in the den are the sows, the females, because that's when they have their babies over the winter. So a sow will be in the den for a couple of months with the babies, and she won't come out. But if you go in there like that guy did and poke her with a stick, she's gonna come after you. She is gonna come. Even a bear, it's just a heavy sleep is what it is. But they will wake up. On a warm day, sometimes they'll get up and look for food. I winter cubs here almost every year. They keep them through the winter. Like I'm going to have 2 this year that have to stay all winter because they're too small.
Right.
And I never seen them sleep. Maybe when it really, really gets cold, they won't come out and eat as much. but they're definitely not. They don't hibernate. I mean, I'm not sure about Canada or Alaska or someplace where it's really cold and there is no food. They might, but I can't. I can say for sure in New York State, if you run into a bear in the middle of January and you poke him with a stick, he's going to chase you.
So, but when are they most hungry then? During that time also, because they sleep a lot more?
Yeah, they build up a fat reserve to go into winter, and they don't actually. They can't. There's not enough food in the woods, and you can't depend on garbage all the time.
Right.
So they do. They rest. They burn up whatever fat they built up all summer long. That's why they go in fat and they come out really skinny. It's what happened. There were 2 bear seasons in New York. There's an early bear, and then there's a late bear. The late bear is later on, and those bear have a tendency of being smaller as far as weight is concerned, because they burned up all their calories over the winter because there just wasn't enough intake to compensate for the burning.
Is that the time they could be a little bit aggressive because they're hungry? Or they just...
They could be a little more bold. I wouldn't say aggressive, but they could be a little more bold.
Grumpy.
Yeah, grumpy. Yeah, if they're a hungry bear just looking for something to eat. If you're walking through the woods, you got a backpack and you got sandwiches and everything, and they can smell that. So they can. They have. Then the sense of smell is so much more better than ours. It's ridiculous. I don't know exactly how much it is compared to us, but they can smell anything. I'll give you an example. When we first moved up here, we didn't know anything about bears, and this is going back 30 years. My son dropped a chicken nugget in the back seat of my car. We didn't know about it. He didn't say nothing. You know, the kid was little. He couldn't count up to 6. Whatever. He dropped the chicken nugget. The next morning, I came out and my car door was opened, and the bear was inside looking for the chicken nugget. Doors closed, windows closed, everything closed. He smelled something in the car. He opened the door and went in, which was bad for me because he ended up making a mess. And I don't mean ripping everything up. He just made a mess.
Wow. You opened the door.
Opened the door.
You have the keys inside.
Lifted the hand. Well, we didn't. Up here, we don't lock our doors. Nothing's locked here, so it's not that big of a deal. So
that's what I'm saying. Look, you had the keys in there. It would have drove off.
You would have drove, yeah, probably.
That's why it's good to walk up there in pairs, right? Hiking. One guy carries a bag and you don't.
Yep, always in pairs.
Chases him.
Yep, you never have to worry about a deer getting you. All you got to worry about is being faster than the guy you're with. Yep.
Now, when is breeding season?
Breeding season is during hunting season, around November, December. That's when they breed, and they have their babies in January and February.
And that's hunting season.
Yeah,
when they're breeding.
Yeah, around now they start. November, December, October, November. Around there they start breeding. It all depends on the weather. The weather has a lot to do with it.
So you could end up having a lot of orphans. A couple of orphans.
A couple of orphans, yeah.
Not a lot.
Not a lot. Well, I'm the only one in the state now that does it. There's no one else in New York State that does bear rehab. So this year I had 6. I released 3. I got 2. I'm going to keep 2. I got 1 more that's to be released, and then we're going to have 2 are going to winter over. So, yeah.
Now, you have a strict rule.
Yes. Those
little baby cubs, if I go over there and want to hug one of them.
Not a chance. Not a chance. Not a chance. Because if that bear bites or scratches you, I have to put it down. Because they have to check for rabies. So there's not a chance you're going to be able to hug or pet my bears. Nobody does. Not me, not nobody. We don't even hold them when they get them coming really small for bottle feeding. We don't even hold them to bottle feed. I go in with a syringe. I get a big syringe. I fill it up with formula. I buy special formula for them, and I get them and I put them in a pen. And I walk up to them and I use a syringe and I just squeeze some milk in their mouth until they figure out how to lap out of a bowl. I usually do not. The only time I would hold a bear cub that came in is because in the first batch of milk that I give them a dewormer. and I have to make sure that they finish it. So I put the dewormer in the milk, and then I hold a bottle, and then I make them drink the bottle. And then after that, it's all syringe. And then they get hungry enough, they figure out how to lick out of a bowl.
So you do the less contact as possible.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The only reason I would handle a bear cub after he comes, if he needs medication. Sometimes they got to take pills. I have a bear now that has a tick-borne disease. He got bit by a tick. And I just got it back from Cornell. He's got to be on medication for another 2 or 3 weeks. He's got to get doxycycline and another antibiotic, because what happened was the tick-borne disease that he has caused some inflammation, caused fluid on the knee for us. One of his knees was filled up with fluid, and he was having trouble walking. Now, this bear cub came in about 3 weeks ago, and he was only 11.5 pounds.
Right.
At this time of year, if that bear was with his mother, he'd be 40 to 50 pounds. So this female lost her mother very early in the summer and has just been scrounging around the woods, just trying to find something to eat. And she was very skinny. She was skin and bones, just absolute skin and bones. And she was having trouble walking. And we all thought that she got hit by a car, but she didn't. It just so happens that the swelling in the knee got so bad that she couldn't walk. And she was having trouble walking. So I sent her up to Cornell. They ran a bunch of blood work. I mean, the bear was there for almost 3 weeks. And they finally figured out they had to take fluids out. They had to take samples and find out exactly what it was. And it was a tick-borne disease. And I would guess kind of like Lyme, because it affects the joints. Lyme disease affects the joints.
Yeah. So
this was happening to him, but in a different way, because it was creating fluid behind the joint. So now he's on Doxy and he's on some other medication. So I have to keep him in for 3 weeks, doctor's orders. I have a room down here, especially for bears. And they stay down here because I have to make sure he takes his medication religiously. Twice a day, every day. But I still don't handle him.
Yeah, I was see, I'm glad you said that. I want to go back to that because it makes sense. The more you handle the animal, the more they get used to humans.
Absolutely.
Then when they go out, right?
Yes.
That's the problem. And like you said before, if they do get used to humans, they got to put them down.
Right. Yep.
So people got to listen out there. Don't touch the animals. Don't even feed them.
Don't feed them. There's plenty of food out there they've been getting along without us for years. Same people with the bird feeders. People who put out bird feeders. Birds have been around way before we have. Before we had bird feeders. And they all survived. We put out bird feeders because we want to see the birds. Not because the birds need it.
But you know what I did?
And I know that's going to ruffle a lot of feathers out there, but that's the truth.
No, I took your word for that. But what I didn't do is I didn't stop giving the water.
No, water's fine.
Put the water out there with a little fountain.
Yeah, no, bird bath is fine, yes.
And everybody takes a bath in there. Everybody drinks. I have to put water like twice a day because it's empty.
Yeah.
You know, that's the food. Well, they end up eating my figs. But at least they lent me some this year. You know, they ate my figs. They didn't touch the apples because they weren't thirsty. You know, my cherries, I didn't even taste it. Only one. Yeah. And I have a tree. You know, but I took your advice because it makes sense. You know, let them hunt for their food. You know,
it's not even the fact that they hunt for them. It's what they've been doing forever. It's the only reason why we put feeders out is for us to see the birds.
Well, the food that people feed them out that I see, and I even tell them not to do it, is like bread.
Right.
Crushed dry bread and just throw it out there. See all the birds. I mean, there's not a food.
Right. Well, it's just an easy meal. Bread is the worst thing you can get, especially ducks and geese. It's the worst thing you can do for them is give them bread. It turns into paste in their system, and it's just there's no caloric value to it. You know, it's just empty calories. So bread is actually, if you want to go feed the ducks and the birds, bring them some cracked corn. You know, it's cheap and it's good for them instead of throwing up stale bread. But you know.
Now you do more than bears.
Yes.
I understand. I mean, we're gonna get back to bears again because this is what the topic is about. But you have birds like hawks and eagles, and actually, you told me about the red tail yesterday.
Yes.
You went out. Did you get it?
The red tail. Which one? I got 2 red tails yesterday.
Oh, 2. Well, you told me yesterday you're gonna go out there to the mountains to get a red tail.
Right.
That's
Yes.
what you told me.
Yes.
I was just curious.
Yep. Yeah, he's still with us. He's doing okay. He's a little cockeyed. He got hit by a car. His eyes swollen closed, and it looks like he went around with Tyson. One eye is completely shut. So, but nothing else is broken. I can't find any bones broken.
You could fly.
He looks okay. What's that?
So
Just his eye. Well, they took a good headshot because the side he had some blood coming out of his ear on the same side, and red-tailed hawks have an eyebrow. It's like a piece of cartilage. It's not really a bone. It sticks out and it shades the sun so that they can see better. It's in the bright sun, and he broke that. He kind of smashed it, which is not a really terrible deal for him. He'll be okay, but yeah, he got lumped up a little bit.
Yeah, I see those a lot in the Bronx.
Yeah,
when I'm at, I sit in my backyard. I see them coming low, and you hear them scream, and they can keep flying like floating.
A lot of squirrels, a lot of them. Wherever there's squirrels, mice, chipmunks, you'll find a red tail. That's what they eat.
Chihuahuas.
Not so much chihuahuas.
Go after anything, you know what I mean?
They try to go after everything, but I don't think he's going to take off with a chihuahua. Could be. You never know. Nothing surprises me anymore.
I got an episode on that on high rises. They're attacking dogs and try to take the dogs, and people fighting against the birds and all that. But it's another thing. I have a film here that I want to show. It is right here. Look. One of your bobcats.
Those are my bobcats, yes. They're ready to go too.
Look at that. They look like kittens.
Yeah. Exactly like kittens. Just bigger and nastier.
Now, what happened to these guys? Why you rescue them?
Well, one of them, they were both orphaned. One was picked up, both of them way out west in New York. One of them was picked, and then the second one was picked up by an ECL, the little guy. And the little guy had some kind of skin disease because he lost all the fur on his front legs, his belly. He was completely bald on the bottom half of his body when I got her. They're both females. That one there, the little one. And she just grew all the fur back, and it was a poor diet is what happened. So obviously she didn't have mom around, and she just started eating whatever she could. But she came in really small. She was really small when we got her.
Now, people could confuse them for kittens, right? Even you could see by the tail.
Yes.
But do people actually try to keep them as pets?
I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt that at all because people keep anything as pets until they start getting messy and noisy and stuff like that. Last year, we had 2 people that had 2 bears in their house. They raised them from cubs until DEC found out and had them removed. They had to come and confiscate the bears. Then they brought them to the rehab who just retired, the only other person in the state, and they had to euthanize them because they were so used to people that they couldn't be released. So,
now, the bobcats, there's 2 types, right? There's one that's a lynx and a bobcat, or they're both the same?
Nope. Bobcats are in New York State, anywhere in the lower south, and I think only in the upper northern parts of the country you find the lynx. They're mostly in Canada.
Canada.
Or like the Dakotas or the Montana or stuff like that. Somewhere up that way. Down here in New York, I don't believe. I mean, like I said, I can't say for sure, but I don't know if there's actually probably up in the Adirondacks because they got moose in the Adirondacks now. So it's very possible that a lynx may have come down.
And the bears that we have here
Yep.
are the black ones.
Black bears.
We don't have no grizzly bears or anything like that.
No grizzly bears. Sometimes you'll get a black bear that's like a cinnamon color, which is a little lighter. They're not always completely black, but they're all black bears here on this where we are.
So that could be almost like an albino.
No, it's just a cinnamon color. It's like a brownish.
Oh, okay.
But their skull structure and their size is nowhere near a grizzly.
Well, thank God.
Yeah.
You know? Now, let me ask you one thing. We'll get into it. How can we help you? I mean, you're doing this voluntarily. You're not making nothing out of it.
Right.
People donate.
We are a non-for-profit organization. Yes. We do. Everything is done here from donations. Yes.
That's what I'm saying. So you need people to donate to you.
We always need people to donate. We try to do fundraisers. I don't do that many educational programs anymore since my wife passed. But we try to get out there. We have a big following on Facebook. Not many people are on Facebook anymore, unfortunately. But we get enough donations to stay above water and never turn anything away.
You can't get grants neither, right?
They're very difficult to get for wildlife. I mean, if I wanted to open up a pit bull rescue or a cat rescue, there's thousands of them, thousands of grants for those. But for wildlife, there really isn't that many. So that's
so what you need is sponsors.
Sponsors would be great.
I mean, rich people sponsors.
Anybody. We take everything. If you got $5, we'll take it. It goes to the animals anyway.
You need somebody like Betty White. She rest in peace.
Yeah.
That kind of people. Bob, the other one, Bob, whatever.
Bob Barker.
Bob Barker.
Yeah.
Somebody that people that really loves. Pamela Anderson, you hearing this show? I want you to give some money here. Listen, I did something, an idea. I made a poster.
Okay.
And it's easy. People will buy it from you. You'll sign it. I mean, how about this?
Oh yeah, that was a very nice release.
That is awesome. You kidding me? That is powerful. That's very powerful.
I did one like that this morning.
Yeah.
Just this morning. Yep, right up here in Catskill. We released it right under the bridge, and she was a big girl. I had a hard time holding that one. She was pretty big, but we released it this morning about 10 o'clock, right by the River Winkle Bridge in Catskill. So
I'm telling you do a lot of good work, a lot of God's work, and I want to put up your website. Friends of the Feathered and Fury Wildlife Center. Go to his website. There's a donation button. Give as much as you can. He does everything from the heart, and this is wildlife. It's stuff that we love, that we need to help us with our ecosystem. So please give money to him. Take money to the company. I'm sorry, to the corporation, to the nonprofit organization. What else can people do instead of giving money? What else do you need?
Well, we have on Amazon, we have a wish list of stuff you can buy there. If you don't want, if you're big on Amazon, we always need garbage bags. We always need detergent. We always need bleach. That stuff, paper towels. We go through a lot because we don't want to cross contaminate anything by using the same towel. So we use paper towels instead of cloth towels. Gift cards from Lowe's. We were always fixing our enclosures. Tractor Supply, we buy feed, we buy deer food there, we buy milk, replacement milk. Sometimes those are things that we can always use and they don't go bad. Baby food, we go through a lot of baby food in the springtime. Baby banana, baby meats, baby vegetables, sweet potatoes. Those last pretty long too also. They last a long time. That's what we go through mostly, quite a bit of. As far as everything else, I use rodents to feed my animals, and rats and mice. Those I have to buy. So that's, I buy fish for the cats. My cats get, those 2 bobcats get 2 rats, 15 mice, and a 12-inch trout cut in half every day.
Wow.
So they get a surf and turf. I had cold pizza tonight for dinner.
Wow. All right. So
Everybody gets a specific diet for what they need to grow and get better and heal faster, and they get that out. And that's how we operate here. Everybody's got their own milk. We buy species specific milk in the springtime, and rabbits got their own, and possums got their own, deer got their own, bears got their own. So there's a lot of expense to feeding all the animals properly so that they can grow. I mean, granted, replacement milk, as good as it is, I buy from a place that specializes in zoo stuff and stuff for zoos. And it's expensive and it's good and it works great, but nothing's as good as mama. You know, we all know that.
right.
But we do our best for what we have available. And I buy all my, there's a company named Missouri that I get all my dry food from. I got bear food comes from them. Their nuggets, they're just, you know, it's good stuff. It's specifically made for them. So
give them the best.
We give them the best. We're no replacement for mom, but we get as close as we can.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, buddy.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
People, please listen to what he says. He's an expert. Leave the bears alone. Leave all wildlife alone. Let them be. Let them be. Okay?
Look, don't touch.
That's right. All right. Don't take selfies.
Yeah, no, stop with the selfies, guys, because someone's going to get hurt and the bear is going to die.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
That is a problem.
You know, you're going to get hurt for being a dummy, but then the thing is, the poor animal's going to get hurt.
The animal's
going to get killed. You get hurt, they get killed. All right, so stay away from the animals. People going upstate, camping or whatever, clean up your crap, pick up everything, put some kind of a lid that something has to be out there. You could get it from anywhere, any hunting store, whatever it is. Listen to the laws up there, even though you're going to be temporary, because these animals have to live their life. And you don't want them to be close to you. All right?
Very good.
So right here, one more time. Donate. Pamela, donate. All you guys, wildlife, celebrities, rich people, give a lot of money. He's giving a lot of his time. He's doing a lot of great work. And please, people, subscribe. In the bottom, subscribe to this channel. You're going to hear a lot more stuff on animals from experts. And please spay and neuter your pets. And do you know where your pets are?